because Sarah has a lot of information. But what I like to do is talk about things that I think are working and then things that I think could use some improvement or just, could amp up a bit to make it easier for your people. You want your website overall to be clear and easy to consume, nice on the eyes, and very like we say user friendly, but like, what does that mean? So it's make it as easy as possible for your people to navigate. Okay. Um, so I went through Sarah's site ahead of time and I have some notes. What I like a lot about Sarah's site, I want to skip right over here to this results link because her results are not only are they stellar, but I like how you've labeled it results. A lot of people say case studies or testimonials, like you've got here in the title, but the link at the top is it's just so confident. Like I just love how you say it. Like results is exactly what you're helping people to do. So I think that's really awesome. Um, and this is so simple because um, I can scroll and that's all that this is. So it's really it's a very simple approach to give people evidence, social proof, which is what we want, of the things that you can do. And this just goes on and on and on. This page does one thing, and it does one thing really well. And Sarah has also done a really great job of adding calls to action here. She's got one about halfway down the page, and then she's got one at the very bottom. And I don't even have to read any of these. Like there's a couple things that stand out to me, like you've circled. You could circle some more stuff if you want to. But I don't even have to read these to know, okay, Sarah knows what the hell she's doing. This is awesome to me. And I love that so many of these are screenshots because I know that can kind of feel like, oh, does this look good? I think it's more effective because it's real people. Okay. So that was the first thing that stood out to me. The second thing, I want to go back to the home page. And if you guys have questions while I'm kind of riffing through this, just stick them in the comments. I'm happy to answer. And can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure. Okay, so the next thing that I really like about Sarah's page is the colors. So I love that they're bold, and I love that you are not afraid to use them in a bold way. I have some more to say about this later, but these are very powerful colors. They are unapologetic. We've got the red, we've got the teal. I love teal. I'm such a teal girl. So I love that. And the red in the buttons, I think, is perfect. It jumps off the page, it's not too intense, and it tells me exactly where to click. Okay. And all of those calls to action are really, they're all in the middle, they're all in the same place. I know where they are, and they tell me what to do on every single page. Okay. Sarah has done a great job of putting these calls to action on every page. Okay. That's a key. A lot of people miss this and they leave their pages open. I believe it's even okay. You could add one to your about page, but a lot of people leave their pages open and they're afraid to add like calls to action. Your people want to know what to do next. Okay, that's why they're here. Okay, so I think that's really great, and I think your use of call to action is really great. Okay, so the next thing that I really like is this about page. I like this about page because the breakup, I'm just going to kind of scroll here, the breakup of your content, like in a horizontal way, like this section here in the blue, this section here, it fits on one screen. I don't have to scroll to read it. And so the breakup of content is good. It's in these nice little digestible chunks. Um, that is very, it's just not overwhelming. Um, it's easy to consume. It's broken up with photos and colors, and it's very friendly on the eyes. And when you add photos, especially like this, it really helps the width of the text. So the text is not spanning all the way from the left and all the way to the right. That can be really hard to read. It's a little more narrow, like right here and right here and then right here. Um, and that's more almost like if you were reading a novel or a book. It's a lot easier for your eyes to go back and forth and find the beginning of the next line. So if you're building your website, just keep that in mind. Um, as you're formatting your copy, make sure you have wide margins on either side so it kind of pushes your text to the middle. That's going to help the readability of your content. And you worked really hard on that content, so I know you want people to read it. Okay, so this is just a really good example of text placement and breaking it up and making it very friendly to the eyes. Okay. Okay, so those were kind of my highlights. The things that I would like to see, and let me go back to the homepage here. Things that I would make adjustments on. I would like to see more space overall. Sarah is somebody that has an ocean of knowledge, and I feel like she shares a lot of that here, and that's really amazing. But I would say, especially on the homepage, this is a lot of information for the homepage. I might create some image graphics that lead people to other pages. Like on your About page, I would maybe break up this text a little bit more. The great thing about websites is that your space is kind of endless. So you don't have to cram everything on one page because you're worried about printing costs. Like, I'll use this as an example. This could be VIP day immersion. This could be like a really eye-catching graphic with this red text as the header, maybe inside the graphic, and this bold black text maybe underneath as kind of like a like a tagline to grab their attention. And then I might take that to its own page. So if they want to learn more, they can go read about this, and it's just this copy, and it's less intense with all this other information. So I'd like to see the text broken up a little bit more, kind of in like these wide strips here of either color, or divide these with a bigger image. A big image across the page is a nice break on the eyes with all these words. And again, I would add more pages because you've got endless space. There's no reason not to just kind of expand this. And I know that's more work, or it feels like more work, but when you've put this much work into your copy, I feel like it's really valuable to space that information out in a way that is digestible to people. Make it as easy as possible to consume. And bigger photos for sure. You've got nice photos. Photos can carry a lot of the vibe of your brand or your program or who you are. And so I'm a big fan of using big photos because they communicate a lot in a faster way than words. You want people to read the words, of course, to learn, but you're gonna grab their attention with the photos first. So it's an easy way to break up a content heavy page like this. Just make some bigger photos. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing, let me scroll up here. I want to say something about, oops, this is moving. I want to say something about script fonts. I love script fonts, and I love them like paired with just a very simple, clean font, and that's exactly what Sarah has done. Script fonts, let me move to where it's not as mobile. Let me pick a good spot. When you use it in more than a couple of words, like when you're using it in a whole sentence, and I kind of like the top here, this initial image here. Let me go back. I like this initial image, and I like this setup, but the second line of this script, I find it hard to read. And if I stay here long enough, yes, I can read it, but it actually scrolls to the left, so I don't have a chance to read it. And if I feel overwhelmed by copy, it makes me leave the site. And this is just a general rule of people. If they feel overwhelmed or they feel confused, they won't stay on your page. Um, so script can be tough to read when it's more than just a couple of words. So you want to use your scripts as an accent, which by and large Sarah has done here. There's not script everywhere, so thank goodness. I might pare it down even more just for more readability and again, more space on the page. I would also say, so this all goes under the category of readability, the script fonts. I want to say something about color. Color, especially bold colors, can also be hard to look at in large amounts. So I like when your text is this teal color. You've used the red in like the perfect amount. Um, but the red and the teal, because they're both bold, they can kind of compete. So, and when there's a big color block of this teal, I find this a little bit hard to read. It's very bright. I love this color. It's like the color of the most beautiful ocean in the world. So I'm with you. But I find this a little hard to read, and it's a little bright and intense for the eyes. Um, so, and I, this is tough because you go through all this work of like picking your brand colors and the colors that you love and that light you up and that you're excited about, and then it's like you can't even use them, right? So I understand, you know, and we want to break it up with color, and I think there's a way to do this, and I'll use your programs up here as another example. These are beautiful colors. It makes it hard to read what's actually on your mock-ups here, and I feel like you would want people to read that. So that's just a note on color. I would also, and this is the final thing on readability, and I'll move on. I would also fade out these geometric graphics in the background a little bit more. They almost, especially like right here, down here, kind of in this right bottom corner, they almost compete with the type. So I think you could fade them back even more without them completely disappearing, and they would be a nice, almost like a watermark effect that would let your text stand out a little bit more. So that's all that I would say about that. I like the geometry itself. I think it's a nice, almost texture to the background. Okay, and then the last thing I would say is up here at the top, this logo. I like the logo, but I noticed that there's no name. So, and I know it's up here in your URL, but there's no name for your business on your kind of navigation bar up here. And I feel like that's really important. I don't see it a lot on this page, and I feel like that's something that you would want people to remember. If it's not the Make Your Life Your Legacy name, then it should be your name, but there should be more than just the symbol up here that people can kind of just, it's just another way to reattach your brand with what people are reading so that they remember you, if that makes sense. And I think that's about it. I wanted to hit the high points, so it's not overwhelming. But Sarah, I think you are such a powerful person. I know your programs, I know you, and I feel like I would love to get my hands on your graphics. I feel like we could take you to another level. So if you haven't checked out Sarah's website by now, it is in the title of this video. Please do so because her stuff is amazing, and I don't know anybody else that's doing exactly what she's doing. She has a lot of knowledge, she has a lot of experience, she clearly has a lot of results. At least go look at the results page, because if you're an entrepreneur, I guarantee that she can help you. All things considered, you guys, like, don't live and die by your website, and I say this all the time. People have businesses without a website. Don't let this stop you from doing your thing and showing up. There's always room to improve. And as Sarah and I were kind of texting back and forth before I even got on here, the work is never done. You will always be in some capacity upgrading your website. I do it too. And like, I'm a designer. Like, I just can't keep my